Hey everybody, this is David here, aka Chessman, and today we're going to go over the games from the FIDE World Championship of 2024. Uh, Between November 25th of 2024 to December 12th of 2024, the World Championship match happened between Gukesh Domaraju and Ding Liren, and Gukesh won that and is now the world champion. He won it 7.5 points to 6.5 points. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the games, just the openings, just to see what openings they used. And I figure these are the best players in the world, so we should. I think we should appreciate the fact that they put so much effort and strategizing what openings they should use in this match. They save all their preparation for years, and or at least a year or two, I'm guessing, to prepare these games for this match, the most important match of their life. So they tried their hardest coming up with what openings they should use. So I don't think we're as talented as they are. So what we should do is benefit from their aggravation and their genius and look at what openings they used and then copy it and then learn them ourselves for our own games. I think that's the best we can do. So if you've never done this before, I'm using the website 365chess.com, and if you go to it, you can go to tournaments and look up all the tournaments that have ever been played. I'm pretty sure they're all here. Or you could look up players by rating as well, and you could look up the games that the best players in the world play. And you could look up your openings. There's a lot of information on this website. It's free. They do ask for donations, but it's free. So let's get into the games. So there's not going to be a lot of fluff in this video. There's 14 games to cover, so I'm not going to spend too much time on each one. We're just going to get the first few opening moves. We're going to write those down or type it in our worksheets that we have open, I'm sure. Or if you have good photographic memory, then you can just watch the video a couple times and hopefully you'll remember them. All right, so let's get going. The first game, and if you haven't used this site before, you can click on this to see the whole game, and you can use the engine so it'll tell you whether the moves are good or not. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this nifty tool where we just click on the ECO code and it'll tell us what the opening is. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first one is C11 French defense, and it goes E4, E6, D4, D5, Knight C3, Knight F6. So write that down. And if you go to this website, what you can also do, what we're not going to do today, but what you can do is on the right hand side here, there's games that have been played by professionals from this opening, and you can see what moves they played from this position, so you can see all the different moves. All right, so let's go on to the next one. That was the C11 French defense. All right, game two. Game two is C50, and it's the Italian game. And it goes E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4. And if you want to come to this site, again, there's all kinds of information on the Italian game and about the different openings, not just the Italian game. So you can look at that and get a good foundation on the opening. All right, so that was C50. The next one is D02, Queen's Pawn game. And it goes D4, D5, Knight F3. That was D02. Next is the A06 ready opening, and it goes knight f3, d5. That's A06. The next one is C01 French exchange variation, and it goes e4, e6, d4, d5, e takes d5. That's C01. All right, the next one is A45 Queen's Pawn Game, and it goes D4, Knight f6. That's A45. Next one is the D78 Neo Grunfeld with moves 6 kingside castle c6. And the opening goes d4, knight f6, c4, g6, g3, d5, bishop g2, bishop g7, knight f3, castle kingside, c6. That's the D78 Neo Grunfeld. Next is the A21 English opening, and it goes c4, e5, knight c3. That's the A21 English opening. Next one is the E00 Queen's Pawn Game, and it goes d4, knight f6, c4, e6. That's the E00 Queen's Pawn Game. Next is the D02 Queen's Pawn Game, and it goes d4, d5, knight f3. That's the D02 Queen's Pawn Game. Next is the A09 ready opening, and it goes knight f3, d5, c4. That's the A09 ready opening. Next is the A13 English opening, which goes c4, e6. That's the A13 English opening. Next is the C11 French defense, and it goes e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6. That's the C11 French defense. And finally, the last one is A08 ready King's Indian attack. And that goes knight f3, d5, g3, c5, bishop g2. So these are all the openings that were played during this match. So I hope that gives you enough to study for a little while. Definitely, when you record these, I would definitely make sure you record with the code, the A45, C01, A06. That way, because we're going to do a lot more of these, and that way, if you see, say, C11 again, you'll be able to browse through your notes, see C11, and be like, oh, I already got it. And so, hopefully, you'll be able to get a bunch of these openings and use them to pick which ones you want to use for your own repertoire. Because if it's good enough for the World Championship match, then it should be good enough for your games, our games. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you have any advice, um, any players that I should cover, or any tournaments that I should cover, just leave it down in the comments and I'll try to look it up. If I can look it up, I'll do a video about it. But again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I hope you have a great one. Enjoy the holidays, and I'll see you soon.